Hey everyone, Mandy here. So today, more or less Mike is going to be giving you guys a few tips on wiring for those on a budget.
Okay, so you just bought a used race car on a classified site and you're going to put your engine in for the first time and it's wired for an MSD. The first thing you're going to run into is which box do I buy? Which coil does it have? Does it have the right plugs? It's a nightmare if you're first getting into working with MSD. If you're in the sportsman class and you're used to working with HEI and you're jumping into this, you unbox it and you look at all the wires that come in there and it really looks like a nightmare. But in reality, if it's comes with the right plugs and you have the right box and the right coil, it's as simple as plugging it in and it works. The problem is when you buy a used car, half the time they come with the wrong plugs. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on what to do if they come with the wrong stuff. Here I've got the Economy Msd Box 6AL. It comes with a weather tight plug that's typical to a passenger car, and I think these are really meant for putting in a hot rod or something like that, but they do work in a race car. This is one of the simplest ones. Plug it in. It's one plug for the whole thing, and there's instructions on which wire goes where, and everything seems like a lot, but you have a big red wire that goes directly to the battery switch. There's your battery shutoff switch. Your small red wire goes to your ignition switch on the hot side when it's on. Then you have your coil wires. Orange goes on the plus side, black goes on the negative side. And then you have a big ground. And then you have this wire that goes to your tack. Then you got this one here that's got the purple and the green, and that goes to your MSD distributor. Next we have the HVC. This is a higher voltage setup. It supposedly has better spark. It's also pretty easy if you have your car came with Deutsch connectors. They're pretty much just plug them in and it's ready to go. Simple as that, not hard to do at all. This one's much more expensive. So here we have a perfect example of a car that came with this style plug, which is the standard MSD plug that comes in the box, but someone installed a different weather tight plug on my distributor. And yeah, you could take and cut it apart and just connect it with a Crimp connector, but you know, everybody in the racing world wants everything to look clean and nice. So, but you know, in this case, I don't own this engine, so I want to keep this plug on here the way they wanted it wired, and I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm going to make an adapter. So, I've got the female side of the wire that goes into the MSD box, and I've got the male side that's going to go into the distributor. But here's what everybody has an issue with. They always think, well, I got a purple wire here, it's got to go to the purple wire on the distributor. But it's wrong. The purple wire goes to the orange one, and the other purple wire goes to the green one. It's completely insane, and I don't know why it's like that, but it is what it is, and just got to do it right so it fires up. And you'll know right away that it won't work because it won't fire up, and you won't have any spark, and your timing line won't work. All right, just to reiterate, guys, so you can see, we have the purple wire on the distributor connected to the green wire on the box, and the orange wire from the distributor going to the purple wire on the box. Purple does not go to purple. Just like it could be your pet peeve that, why would purple not go to purple? It's ridiculous. There's a little thing that I'm sure if any of you have had to do this before, you've probably run into it. I ran into it the first time I tried to connect an Msd box together. Here's a way that you can do it without having to buy all new box and coil and connectors, and all that can get expensive. Sometimes that's the easier route because when you start fresh, it's just all the correct connectors come in the box, but there it is. So another thing to worry about when you're picking out your MSD is what coil came with your car. If your car came with this black coil, it only works with the high voltage black distributor, or sorry, the black Msd box. If it came with any of these coils, it'll work with the 6A out. So these are more the economy ones. This is the high voltage thing. This one also says high voltage on it. Very confusing, but pretty much if you got the black box or the black coil, they only work with each other. Don't try to run them with the other stuff. Now, your coil comes with a plug like this to connect it. And I'm going to show you how to crimp those connectors. So here we have the wiring harness with the Deutsch style connector. Really doesn't matter which connector you're using, but for this part. And I've taken the small orange and black wires, and I'm going to cut them to length, strip them, and hook them up to this connector here, which I call a weather tight connector. And I'm going to show you how to crimp these style connectors here. So I'm going to take this connector, break it off of there, and set the wire in where those three little teeth are, and line up the insulation with these longer tang tabs here. And you're going to need a set of crimpers like this, and I'm going to use the number 2 slot right here and line up this side with the teeth. Okay, there you have the finished crimp on the small part. Now this part, I'm going to be open to suggestions on, because I'm telling you, every time that I leave these at full length, they end up smushed around and they break off. So my trick is I cut them to about half the length they come at. Squeeze them together a little bit to get them started. and then use the next size up crimp section, which this one says it's number 4. So there you have that. That's crimped on the insulation. Now this green thing is a seal that keeps dirt and moisture out of there. You can slide that over. Of course, I could have slid it over before I crimped it too, but it works either way. Just make sure that these 2 tabs are stuck out so that when you stick it into the plastic part, it stays in there, because that's what holds it in. And when you want to take it out, you'll take a tool and bend those in to get it back out. I'm going to take and plug this into there so I know which side I'm plugging it into. And I've lined up the black with the black. And just stick it in. And you can see that it's in there. And then you slide your insulation in there and lock it on, and you're all done. So this has been a few wiring tips for you guys that are on a budget and trying to do it the easy way.
Purple does not go with purple.
Exactly.
So,
in a nutshell, that's what
yes,
this video was about.
Pretty much.
But be sure to like Mandee's videos, subscribe to the channel, come back every Wednesday.